Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. All praises be to Allah. We praise Him. We ask for His help. We ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then now misguided for him, and whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guide for him. I bear witness there's no God except Allah. Only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His messenger and His prophet and His servant. O Allah, give good prayer upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad as you have gave to Abraham and the family of Abraham, and bless, O Allah, upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad as you have blessed the family of Abraham, as you have blessed Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are all well praised and all high and mighty. Today, inshallah, we will continue with our last topic. Actually, the 10th rules that we started just last week, concerning about the knowing the soul. Because basically, when you don't know about the soul, you cannot get the right way to cure or to correct it from illness. So that's why knowing the soul is actually one of the essential part of the self-purification topic. And we learned last week that our soul is actually have 3 characters, and the characters is actually conditioned within the soul of a human according to whatever been actually came to the soul, if surrounded by goodness or surrounded by badness. So the soul itself, we said last week, have 3 types or three character. Either it is an assured soul, that assured by iman and remembering Allah Ta'ala and doing all the goodness, the soul that actually following, obey to the command of the Lord Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And secondly, the soul that is actually lawamah, soul that reproaching, that always try to correct the owner, not to do things that is not bad and not good, trying to say, oh, why did I do this, or regretful soul. And after that, the third one is actually the soul that continuously enjoyed by doing evilness. Means that the soul always try to take his owner to do bad things. That's the 3 things. And we said that it is actually not 3 types of soul, but actually one human soul can be in first state, second or third, according to whatever being given to the soul from surrounding, say the reading material, the influence of friends can always make the soul be A or B or C. Okay, so we said that we will separate this topic to three topic according to the presentation by the author. The first one is actually concerning what type of the soul or the character of the soul, and now we will inshallah go to the examples being given. 2 examples. So we take this week 1 examples being given as for us to know when we are training or we are purifying our soul or training our soul, what is the equivalent to understand it, because human can always learn something that is actually not happening yet to him or to others or to the condition or everything, by looking at the examples or parables. So even in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet, in the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there are many of parables being given by Allah for us to know, to understand the ideas or the concept that want to be should be understood by us, so we understand it accordingly. So this is one of the way the author try to make us understand what is the soul. You want to know your soul and what is the equivalent of the soul with you in reality. Page number 38, the author said, وَقَدْ ضَرَبَ أَهْلُ الْعِلْمِ لِهَذَا النَّفْسِ أَمْثِلَةً تُبَيِّنُ حَالَهَا مع الإنسان ليسهل تصورها على المسلم فيجتهد بعد ذلك في إصلاحها وتزكيتها. He said that here that the scholars or the people of the knowledge, only the scholars of Islam has made parables for the soul, parable for the soul, that which explain its condition or its circumstances with the human, so that it is easy for a Muslim to imagine the parables according to actually relating to the reality. فَيَجْتَهِدُ, then the Muslim will strive after that in correcting the soul and to purify the soul. وَأَقْتَصِرُ هُنَا عَلَى مِثَالَيْنِ لِإِمَامَيْنِ جَلِيلَيْنِ, and I will just say here, or just make an example here upon two parables by two great imam. The two great imam is actually, the first one is Imam Al-Ajuri. He's actually a scholar that around 260 the birth, and the death is actually 380. So he's actually among the old scholars of Islam. Then he actually known by his writing, the book called Sharia Al-Ajuri. He is actually also the teacher of Abu Nu'aym Al-Asfahani, the one who wrote Tarikh Dimashq or Hulyatul Awliya. This is the teacher for Abu Nu'aym, Imam Al-Ajuri rahimahullah. Okay, and the second one is actually will be Ibn Qayyim Al-Jawziyah. So we will take today the examples given about the soul by Imam Al-Ajuri rahimahullah. He said here, Al-Mithal Al-Awwal ضربه الإمام الأجري رحمه الله في كتاب أدب النفوس فقال, the first parables or the first examples being given is actually being made by Imam Al-Ajuri rahimahullah, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him, in the book Adab An-Nafs, manners of the soul, manner of the soul. He said, wa ana umathilu laka mithalan la yakhfa alayka amruha insyaallah, and I will make a parables for you, parables or examples that is not hidden for you, upon you, it's matters, inshallah. This is not be something that is hard for you to understand. He meant like that. I'lam anna nafsa mathaluha kamathalil muhril hasani min al-khayl idha nadhara ilayhi an-nadhiru a'jabahu husnuhu wa baha'uhu fayaqul ahlul basirati bihi. No, be knowledge, be in knowledge. And he said no, that the soul, its parable or its example is actually as the same as Al-Muhr. Al-Muhr is actually a colt or foal, mean young horse, young horses called foal. In English and in Arabic, there are words that we know. The big animal and the small animal, even male and female, have their own names. Like in the family of lion, we call lion, all of it is lion. Asad, essentially everything is asad, male or female. But when you say labwah, then the female. Shiblun, then actually the offspring or the cub. Shiblun, the cub of the lion. And the male lion will call Laith or Usama, or being called like that. So they have a different name also for like in English, for stallion is for the male horses. So the word here is actually about young horses, that is actually a young good horses from among the horses, means that from good breed of horses. When looking at it, anybody who saw the foal or the colt, the colt or the foal will make the person who look at it impressed by its goodness and also its shyness. You know, things that when you see, you say, what a shiny thing. So the foal, if it's from the good breed, so anybody look at the foal or the colt, will say it's from the good breed. But those who have knowledge and clear sight about matters in this world will say, la yuntafa'u bihada hatta yurada riyadatan hasanatan wa yu'addaba adaban hasanan fahina idhin yuntafa'u bihi fayasluhu lit-talabi wal harabi wa yahmadu rakibuhu awaqiba ta'dibihi wa riyadatihi fa illam yu'addab lam yuntafa' bihusnihi wala bibahaihi wala yahmadu rakibuhu awaqibu indal hajati. He said here that people will say about the young horse or the colt or the foal that this will not be any taken benefit until being trained with good training. Means that the colt or the foal, if not being trained with good training, then you cannot benefit from it. And being taught manners with good manners, because even though it is among the animal, teaching manners is actually can be done. Like some people teach their cat to to potty training, to make sure that the cat only pass itself secreting things that actually not very nice, but at certain place, some animals can be taught and some animals cannot. But normally animals can be taught. Actually, if you taken as a pet, you can teach it things. So the manners will be said here that the animal have been taught as with manners. Same to be with the colt or the foal. He said here that the foal or the good foal or colt will not be benefit until being trained, good training, and being taught good manners. Fahina idin yuntafa'u bihi, and then only you can make benefit with it. It will be good to catch something, to go towards something, or to run away from something. Because when you use your animal or your horse, it will be two things: for you to catch up to eat something, or for you to run away from something. And you say here, fayasluhu lit-talabi wal harab. And the rider who ride the horse after being teach manners, then the rider will always praise the goodness or the result of the manner and the training for the foal or the colt. And if the manners is not being taught correctly, then you cannot benefit from the goodness of the horse, the foal or the colt. You'll be from the good breed, but not become the best for you. Also not by its goodness or look at the foal or the colt, will not have anything about it. And also the rider will not praise the result of the colt or the foal when it needs to do something. He cannot get anything from it. He said here, فَإِنَّ قَبِلَ صَاحِبُ هَذَا الْمُهْرِ قَوْلَ أَهْلِ النَّصِيحَةِ وَالْبَصِيرَةِ بِهِ عَلِمَ أَنَّ هَذَا قَوْلٌ صَحِيحٌ فَدَفَعَهُ إِلَى رَائِدٍ فَرَاضَهُ. If the owner of this foal or the colt accept the idea or the suggestion by those who give suggestion to him, and know about the real thing of the matters, he will know that this saying, what we said just now, is actually truth. It's a true. It's truth. Then he will give away or let a trainer to take the foal or the colt, so that he can train the colt or the foal. And after that, he said, ثُمَّ لَا يَصْلُحُ أَنْ يَكُونَ الرَّائِدُ إِلَّا عَالِمًا بِالرِّيَاضَةِ مَعَهُ صَبْرٌ عَلَى مَا مَعَهُ مِنْ عِلْمِ الرِّيَاضَةِ فَإِنْ كَانَ مَعَهُ بِالرِّيَاضَةِ وَنَصَحَهُ انْتَفَعَ بِهِ صَاحِبُهُ. He said here, and after that, if you are the owner of the colt and you give it away to a trainer, then the trainer here is not good for the colt, except the trainer is actually all knowing or very having experience in training the colt or the foal, and also he have the patience with whatever he have from the knowledge of training the horse. If he have if the trainer have the knowledge about training, and also he's sincere in training the foal or the colt, then the owner of the colt or the foal will get the benefit. He said here, because he said two things about the knowledge about training, and secondly about the patience. You have to have patience with training. فَإِنْ كَانَ الرَّائِدُ لَا مَعْرِفَةَ مَعَهُ بِالرِّيَاضَةِ وَلَا عِلْمَ بِأَدَبِ الْخَيْلِ أَفْسَدَ هَذَا الْمُهْرَ وَأَتْعَبَ نَفْسَهُ وَلَمْ يَحْمَدْ رَاكِبُهُ عَوَاقِبَهُ. If the trainer doesn't have any knowledge, no knowledge with him about training the horses, and he doesn't know how to give manners to horses, then the trainer will surely corrupt the foal, will spoil the foal, and actually he will make the foal actually unusable, cannot be a good horse, because the horse must be trained. So I can say that my friend, actually he's still alive right now, in Terengganu. He was a trainer for monkey to climb tree and take the right coconut to be sent down. So he said, but always the training will start from small age. Means that the monkey, the small monkey will be taken. If they have the small monkey, then the training will start when the monkey is still small. He will take a bundle of coconut and put it in front of the monkey, and will say words like hijau, green, or muda, young, or tua, three words. So when he say the word, when the monkey touch the right one, he will give treats for the monkey. But if the monkey touch the wrong one, he will take a cane and tap it on the hand of the monkey. So after a few session of training, the monkey can be taken away and be sold away to other people, and the people just know the three things about tua, muda, and tua or muda or hijau. So when they hold the rope on the monkey, they just push it and say hijau. So the monkey will send down green one. Until now, he said only like right now he's actually doing catering works, cooking nasi, mandi rice, and selling all over Terengganu, all over area Kijal, Kemaman. So he's not doing that thing anymore. But when he said about training, if he correctly train the monkey can be usable for anybody who bought from him. Likewise, we are talking right now, if the trainer of the horse doesn't know how to train the horse, he will spoil the horse for the owner. Afsada hadal muhr. And the trainer will only tire himself. Will tire himself, and the whoever rides the horse after that will not praise the result of whatever happened from the horse, because not being taught or being trained correctly. Wa in kana ar-ra'idu ma'ahu ma'rifatur riyadati wal adabi lil khayli illa annahu ma'a ma'rifati lam yasbir ala masyaqqatir riyadati wa habbat tarfiyaha lin nafsihi wa tawana amma wajaba alaihi min nasihati fi riyadati afsada hadzal muhr wa asa ilaihi wa lam yasluh lit talabi wala lil harabi wa kana lahu manzarun bila makhbarin. He said here, and if the trainer he have with him the knowledge about training the horse and also giving manners to the horse, only that with this knowledge that he doesn't have the patience doesn't have the patience to keep up the difficulties of training. Because like when you teaching something, when you teach your son or your daughter from childhood, you must have the patience. Because if you just know the right and the wrong, but you don't have the patience, you did training or teaching, then you also will make problem to the child, because you don't have the patience. And also if the trainer like for himself an easy way, doesn't like to have the difficulties, and also he likeness like it whatever obligated upon him to be sincere in training the horse, the foal or the colt. Also this will make the colt or the foal become spoiled, become corrupt, not usable after that. Because the trainer must have patience, because if he use force always, then the horse or the colt will not be friendly with whoever ride him. Maybe if the trainer did it by force, then the horse will only follow with force. By in sense that sometimes the one who ride the horse is not the character as the trainer, not same character as the trainer. So it become problem because sometimes like some people when they take dogs as their pet, I saw in the commentary about a few type of dogs that the owner must be more fierce or dominant than the dog. If the owner is not feisty, not become angry, always angry, then the dog will dominate the owner. Something like that. Actually, that's the problem here. Because if the things, okay, the son, your son or your daughter, you always use force for it, for them to follow something, then they always they will not obey to anybody except with force. So when this happened to the colt being trained like that, so whoever ride the colt and doesn't have the character of the trainer, then it is also will corrupt for him. Yeah. Then the trainer is actually doing bad to the colt, and the colt is not usable for keeping up, to catch up to something, or not always to run away from something. And so the colt or the foal will become after that a sight without any story. Means that you have the look but doesn't have the content. You don't have anything to benefit from it. Just a look. Means that the horse will be beautiful, will have good looks, but doesn't ever will not have any benefit, because nobody can benefit from it. فَإِنْ كَانَ مَالِكُهُ هُوَ الرَّائِدُ لَهُ نَدِمَ عَلَى تَوَانِهِ يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُهُ النَّدَمُ. If the owner is the one who train it, who is the trainer of the horse, and he done something like that, he doesn't have the knowledge or doesn't have the patience to train the horse, he will regret upon his lackness on the day that when it happened. The regret is actually, his regret doesn't have any meanings. Doesn't have any meaning, because on that day, in Malay we say the word melentur buluh, biarlah dari rebungnya, means that when you want to make bamboo is actually the character of bamboo, hardness, hard. When the bamboo start to become tall, then you cannot bend it. You cannot bend the bamboo, even if you use heat, like being used to rattan, because the bamboo and rattan actually quite from the same family, maybe not really quite right, because the bamboo is actually a type of grass. Then the rattan is actually the shade from other group of family of the tree, because the rattan inside it is actually full, doesn't have hollow side, hollow middle in it. But the bamboo you have is actually hollow and tall and hard. So the character of the bamboo is actually always straight. If you want to make it become curvy, or to bend it, you must bend the bamboo when from the start, when it's still shoot, let's say rebung, from the start you can bend it, you can make it go curvy or anything. But after it's already straight and tall, you cannot bend it. Even by using heat, you cannot bend the bamboo. That's the differences between bamboo and rattan. So in Malay, they have the parables to say that melentur buluh, if you want to bend a bamboo, mestilah dari rebungnya. You must do it when the bamboo is still shoot, just a shoot, the beginning of the shoot of the bamboo. Then it's actually soft for you to bend it, and you can make it bend away. But if already actually straight and tall, you cannot bend it. So likewise, the horse we said here, when it's still young, you can train it. But if you already give to the horse bad training or doesn't train it well, the horse become actually elder, become big, and you cannot teach it anymore, because teaching always from the start, not after the horse become big. You can benefit from it. So at that time, if the owner is the one that train the horse and he doesn't get the good result, he will regret. But the day he regret is actually the day that doesn't benefit anymore, his regret. حين نظر إلى غيره في وقت الطلب قد طلب فأدرك وفي وقت الحرب قد حارب فسلم. When he see at others that having horse also, on the day or when they use their horse to catch up to something, then it will catch up and arrive to the thing that to something that he want to catch up with, and at the time to want to run away, he use the horse to run away, then their horse will take them away and they will save. But wa talaba huwa wa lam yudrik wa haraba falam yaslam, and he himself, when he use his colt that he badly trained or doesn't have patience when training it, so he doesn't give a good training to the horse, so when he himself try to catch up to something, he doesn't arrive, and when he run away, he try to run away, but he doesn't become safe by running away with the horse. Kullu dhalika bitawanihi, everything of that is actually from his lackness, because he himself actually doesn't do the right training for the horse at its time. Wa qillati sabrihi ba'da ma'rifatihi minhu, and also because of the lackness, the littleness of his patience after the knowledge from him. He have a knowledge, but he doesn't have the patience. So two things about training the horse is there. Now he come here to the soul. Thumma aqbala an nafsihi yalumuha, and then the owner of the colt will say to himself and to reproach him and to correct him himself, saying lima farrati lima qassarti laqad ada alayya min qillati sabri kullu ma akrahu wallahu musta'an. He said to himself, why does you do you have a lackness, you doesn't do it well, why does you doesn't you do rightly, and he written because he said it's written to myself min qillati sabri, because this happened because of my lackness in patience, and everything that I doesn't want, because I am not patient in training the horse. Then after that, whatever come after it, everything that I don't like will come to me because of lackness of patience. Doesn't have the knowledge, doesn't have the patience. If have the knowledge, doesn't have patience, the same result will come. Wallahu musta'an, and Allah Ta'ala is only the place for us to ask for help. Yaqilu, now he want to say make the conclusion from the story. Yaqilu rahimakumullah, think, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon you, ilma hadha al-mathal, the knowledge about these parables, wa tafaqahu bihi, and also get an understanding with it, tuflihu wa tanjahu, you will success, you will be safe. Our author here say فهذا المثل الأول, and this is the first parables or examples, يوضح فيه الإمام الأجوري, that the Imam Al-Ajuri explain in it حال النفس البشرية, the condition or the circumstances of the human soul. وأنها كالمهر التي tahtaju ila ratin wa sabrin fi tarwidiha, that it is as a colt or a foal that needs to be trained, and also needs patience in training it. Means that the foal need the training, but the trainer also must have the patience in training the foal. If you don't have the knowledge and the patience, then you cannot be a trainer, and the foal will be corrupt or spoiled. Wa yakuna ala ilmin bil umuri allati tuslihu nafsa wa tuzakkiha. And also the trainer must have the knowledge about the matters that will correct the soul, and also will purify the soul. Must have the knowledge. Two things. So when we are now saying about our soul, you want to correct the soul and make it purified, you must have that two things: knowledge about the soul and knowledge how to train the soul. Now we are actually learning about it, and also you have to have the patience, because sometimes patience is actually the hardest thing. The hardest thing is actually patient, to be patient, to wait for yourself, to always come to yourself, to correct yourself always. That is the thing that some people or many people will have in the end, the feeling of fed up about thing, doesn't have the change, and actually stop from doing the correct thing or the purification. Stop because they feel that nothing happened. Because sometimes when you to go to correct yourself, to make yourself actually become more pious towards Allah, you have to have the patience that maybe after this always, but the doing must always have came along with the desire. You have the desire, the intention, but you must have the doing, the work. Must have the work to correct yourself, avoid things that actually not good for your soul. Be friend with those who actually can give advice to you and be sincere to you. That's always must actually be continuously, cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped at just a few times or certain times, because the Prophet ﷺ said about the amal or the deeds in Islam, ahabul amal ilallah adwamuha wa in qalla. The most lovable deeds in the sight of Allah is whatever continuously being done, even though it's a little, and doing things continuously, even though it's a little, have to have a patience. You have to have the patience. You cannot just do the things and you don't want to do it anymore. Doesn't have the steadfast, the istiqamah in doing things. Then having istiqamah is actually something that concerning about our topic. Because when you want to do something, do it all the way, not a few months. Like we pass by Ramadan. In Ramadan, we're doing good deeds. Walillahil hamd, fasting in the day, and do the qiyam in the night, and do charity, give a donation, concern about others. But after Ramadan pass us, and we actually come to our old self, not doing whatever being done in Ramadan, even though the day and the night is still equivalent, still within in our place like Malaysia, we have 12 hours of the day, 12 hours of night. The clock is still there, the time is still there, but our deeds become lesser, not as in Ramadan. That is the illness when you say about not having steadfast, not having istiqamah. Because in the sense of Allah, the best deeds, the best work can be done by a servant is actually by doing it continuously, even though it is a little. That require patience. A person have a patience in himself to do that. That is what, when you say your soul will have effect by your patience doing it continuously. But you don't have the patience, you let out. After you do twice, you pray in the night, you recite Quran, and you say nothing happened. Nothing happened. I recite the Quran, but my heart still feels sad. I didn't have the calmness. You still using that we say reason to lack in training yourself, because when you do the things that Allah Ta'ala want you to do, that is the training. That is the training to hold yourself, stay, recite the Quran. Take your time to recite the Quran in a day. Like we said before, you can always finish recite the Quran if just one thing, like you recite after every salah to 4 pages, because the Quran in our time right now, Alhamdulillah, being put down. They put the one juzuk of the Quran. We have 30 juzuk. The one juzuk is actually equivalent with 20 pages. And if you split 20 pages for 5 prayer a day, you can always finish, because if you recite after subuh to 4 pages, and after zuhur 4, after asar 4, you will get in one day 20 pages. It's equivalent with one juzuk. And next day you do the same thing for the second juzuk after that. So in 1 month you can finish. Even our brother here, he said that he tried by reciting not 4 pages, 8 pages. During Ramadan, at the mid of Ramadan, he already actually finished recitation of Quran for one khatam, one complete recitation. And he actually continuously doing that. So he get 2 khatam in a month. So if you have that patience to stay yourself, not to move away, don't move away. Take your time to learn. Take your time to hear any advice from others. Take your time to not to follow your desire towards evilness or immorality. You have to have that patience. So he said here, wa anal insana, and verily the human, idha farrata fi hadhihi al-ma'rifati, if he doesn't he actually lack in this knowledge, wa fi hadha tarwid, and is in this training, fa innahu sayandamu fi nihayatil mataf ghayatan nadam, then he will regret at the end of the day, the biggest regret in his life. Regret about many things. You can regret about not doing things, but the biggest thing that you regret is actually not to train your soul or purify it to make it follow the command of God. Because when Allah Ta'ala say to us, ittaqullah, he said, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh the people who have believed, ittaqullah, be pious to your God. When Allah told you something like that, means that you actually have the capability to make yourself better than you are before. It's not something that Allah Ta'ala told you to do, but you cannot do. Because Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, in the last ayat in the Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah Ta'ala said, La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Verily Allah Ta'ala doesn't burden upon the soul except whatever the soul can manage to carry it. The burden is not given except what you can carry. So Allah Ta'ala never ever give you something that you cannot do. When He said, ittaqu rabbakum, or ittaqullah, be pious to your God, be pious to your Lord, then it's something you can do. Then our topic about training yourself, like having a colt or a young horse, you train it for it to become, when it's become a big horse, actually it become not only by the look is beautiful, or by benefit. The use of the horse will become greater. It is just because if you train the horse correctly, you have the patience, you have the knowledge, you train it correctly, then only you can use it after that. Same as the soul. Even though you are actually now when you say about the soul, if we have the topic and our audience already 40 years old or 50 years old, don't ever think that already old, then my soul is actually like a big horse, cannot be trained. Then you are wrong, because when we return to the words of Allah in the Quran that told us to be more pious to your God, fear your God, is something that you can done. Because when the Quran came to the Prophet SAW, he already more than 40 years old, and when he recite the Quran to the Sahaba, many of them are already big, not a young people, not a young person. So when that the understanding, we understood it very well, we can understand that our soul can be trained, can be can be taught, always can be done like that. But the two things about having the knowledge how to train your soul, and also having the patience to train your soul, that is the two things that actually you must have. You cannot just say that I want to meditate myself. Things that happen in non-Muslim religion, when non-Muslim are doing something that they want to purify their soul. Some of them doesn't want to eat meat, doesn't want to eat some certain foods, and doesn't want to have wives, doesn't have to have a spouse, and everything else like that. Is actually that are their actually attempt to purify the soul, but by not the way being taught by the Prophet SAW, and even not by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Allah Taala never ever asked from the human to throw away their humanness, their human character is not being thrown away. Like Allah Taala said in the Quran about the in Surah Al-Hadid, verse number 27. It's not in the book. It's outside the book. Okay. Allah Ta'ala said in this ayah, ثُمَّ قَفَيْنَا عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ بِرُسُلِنَا, and after that we follow their step. We make follow with their step the Noah, Abraham, and all the prophet before them, with our messengers. وَقَفَيْنَا بِعِيسَى بْنِ مَرْيَمَ, and also we make follow with the same route, Isa bin Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary. وَآتَيْنَهُ الْإِنْجِيلَ, and we gave him the Injil. وَجَعَلْنَا فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُ رَأْفَةً وَرَحْمَةً, and we make inside the follower, his follower, whoever follow him, to have ra'fatan wa rahmah. Ra'fatan wa rahmah. To have compassion and mercy. Compassion and mercy. But warahbaniyatan ibtada'uha. But the monotheistic, innovated. They innovated. Instead, no marriage to become a priest. That is what they created by themselves. Not Allah Ta'ala doesn't ever give them the command to not to become a married person, not to be married to a woman, because when we see about this in Buddhist, in Christianity, most of them, most of the religion, in sense of purifying the soul, one of the way they thought is good and actually benefit to purify the soul is not to have a marriage. Stay celibacy, doesn't no sexual you say activity, even though it's halal, permissible, then with wives. So move away your wife from your life. They said something like that. But right here in this Surah Al-Hadid, verse number 27, Allah Ta'ala doesn't ever make the monasticism, or doesn't have merit, or rahbaniyah, priesthood. To become a priest, you don't have to marry. That is actually nothing from the teaching of Allah. Even though they said that actually we feel it's better, but not the teaching of Allah, because Allah Ta'ala, He's the one created the soul. So whatever is benefit for the soul, how to train the soul, Allah Ta'ala will know it better than you. That's why Allah Ta'ala sent the prophet, all His prophet and messenger came to this world and actually have wives, married, like being said in Surah Al-Ra'd, verse number 38. Verse number 38, Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, verse number 38, waja'alna lahu. Okay, verse number 38, Allah Ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلًا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Verily, O Muhammad, we have sent many messengers before you. Many messengers being assigned. He said, after that, وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَذُرِّيَّةً. And we made for the prophet, for the messengers, azwaj, wives, and waduriyah, and descendant, offspring. So it means that all the prophet being given like that. Even Jesus Isa alayhi salam, when he come for the second coming after the death of Dajjal, the death of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Gog and Magog, then the believers with Isa alayhi salam will have a few years of a peaceful life. That is why the prophet said, after the coming of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, Gog and Magog, the tawaf at Kaabah will continue. Means that after their death. It's not right now. We are not talking about right now, because we have a problem in this day when certain group of people in Malaysia being influenced by the theory of conspiracy, and they deny about the SOP, or the standard operational procedure of health to avoid ourselves being infected by the COVID-19, or by the SOP of prayer. They also make fear upon people about the taking of vaccine. They push around the rumors to even right now. I read in Kelantan yesterday or a few days ago, 10,000 people actually doesn't want to take the vaccine because of this group. Their propaganda in the media, social media, in WhatsApp and Facebook, in Twitter. They make people afraid to follow the procedure. So in the end, right now we doesn't have that we say the right protection from COVID-19, because people actually not following the SOP, not following according to the rules of being given by our government. Then their reason is actually they're saying that Ya'juj and Ma'juj already came out, and the World Health Organization is actually the workers of Dajjal, the Antichrist. So people right now is actually not following because of their words. So ridiculous. But anyway, like we said here, after the killing of the Dajjal, the Antichrist, and the killing of the death of the Ya'juj and Ma'juj, then the prophet Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, son of Mary, will have peaceful days with the believers, and he will get married at that time. Because all, like the verse 38 of Surah Al-Ra'd, 38 Surah Al-Ra'd, Allah Ta'ala said, we did send, O Prophet, O Muhammad, before you many messengers, and we make for those messengers spouses, wives, and duriyah, offspring or descendant. So all of them actually married women. So how can we have the if all the prophet is actually married to a woman or women's, more than one? Then how can we have that idea that if you want to get your soul purified, don't have any connection with women, don't eat meat, don't eat good food. If you eat good food, then you like to stay in this world, so you don't eat something like that. So the Prophet ﷺ, even he himself, he said to the companion, when three of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ asked the wives of the Prophet, how is the act of devotion done by the Prophet? His prayer, his fast, his salah, how? So when the wives of the Prophet told the three people what the Prophet done, they said, so little. They feel that whatever the Prophet did is so little. So they start to think that they must do better than the Prophet ﷺ. So the first one said, I will fast and never ever after this not fast. Means that the whole year he will fast. Eat only at night. Eat only at night. The second one said, I will pray at night and will not sleep. And the third one said, I will not marry a woman. The Prophet heard about what they are saying and asked them and say to them, what is this? What is it that I heard? They said it's actually for goodness. The Prophet said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ama wallah, verily, inni al-akhshakum, verily by Allah, swear by Allah, inni al-akhshakum wa atqakum min Allah. I am the most pious, the most feared towards Allah. The most feared Allah is me. The most pious towards Allah is me. But I pray and I sleep. He took his time for prayer. He took his time for sleep, to rest. And I fast and I don't fast. Break my fast. It means that he fasts for a few days and he doesn't fast a few days. Even when the companion of Prophet ﷺ or whoever come after them ask about the fasting of the Prophet, the wives and also the companion of Prophet said the Prophet ﷺ fast so many days that even until we that saw it say that the Prophet didn't break his fast this month. Every day I met him, he's fasting. But the other part of them also said that the Prophet didn't fast until we say that he didn't fast this month. Means that every time they met the Prophet, the Prophet is not fasting. So he take his time and he said, and I marry a woman, and I marry women. Means that it's not a right thing to do, to train yourself or to make sure that yourself is purified by not knowing what is actually should be done to the soul, like training the horse or training your animal like that. Then your soul is actually like the same. You want to train it, you have to know what is good for it from among the training, and also have to have the patience, because if you don't have that, then you will be regretful for in the last day. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So we finish our topic today. Inshallah, we will enter into the second parables by Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah next week. So like always, we will try to see whether there are questions for us to entertain. No question today. So inshallah, we'll stop here. Oh, you have a question? No. Yeah. So we got no question today. Inshallah, I will entertain after next in next session. Inshallah. Walhamd. Stay safe and follow the rules being given by a government about avoiding this COVID-19, because now in Malaysia the numbers of death daily is actually quite frightening. Last year when this thing happened, the death is actually just 1, 2, 3%, 5% per day. The biggest 5, you say. But now in this day, the death is actually by double digit, 30, 50 people a day per day. This is something that is actually happening because we, the Muslim, doesn't follow the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ and the guidance of the companion. In the day of the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, it happened in the 17th of Hijrah, means that 6 years after the death of the Prophet ﷺ, in the reign of the time of Umar as a caliph, as the caliph, the Muslim being in Sham, in Syria, Jordan, Palestine, that place, being given by Allah trial to have that a disease, a pandemic happen to them. Means that the death actually numbers of the death being said to 20 to 30,000, 20 to 30,000, and among them the companion of Prophet ﷺ. If we read in the Tarikh At-Tabari, Imam At-Tabari, who died in the 310 of Hijrah, he wrote about the history for the 17th year 17 of the Hijrah. When that thing happened, Umar bin Khattab moved back, doesn't enter after he consult from the companion of Prophet whether should he enter the pandemic area or just stay away before he hear the hadith from the Prophet ﷺ. The hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, Umar bin Khattab doesn't enter. But after that, the place, the pandemic area, being managed by, first is governor, the governor Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah. He actually died. He said that this disease is actually a blessing, a mercy from your God, your Lord. It is actually a prayer from your Prophet, and the death for God, a good human being before you. He said something like that, and he said, I asked Allah Ta'ala to give me the things. Then Allah Ta'ala make him give him the illness, and he died. Second one, Mu'adh bin Jabal also came up and give a speech to people and saying the same thing, asking from Allah Ta'ala to make him become martyr or shahid by that disease, But his son died, and he also died. After that, when the third one, Amr bin As. Amr bin As was the governor appointed by Umar to govern the Egypt, Mesir. But when this happened, Umar asked him to take care whatever happened in Sham, in Sham, in Syria at that time. So when Umar came to them, first thing Umar said to them is actually, this disease is like a fire. When you close together, the fire will continuously burn all of you. So go away, disperse. Means that Umar told them to go away, stay on the Mount Hill, stay on the valley, run away from each other, don't stay together. Umar said to them. So one of the companion of Prophet is there at that time. He said to Umar, "Kadhabta, you are lying." He said, "You are lying." Is it raining? Oh, it's raining. Kadhabta, he said, "You are lying. I was the companion. I was with the Prophet, and when you actually is actually lesser than my donkey." Abu Wa'il said something like that because Amr bin As entered Islam on the 7th of Hijrah. Before that, he's actually opposing the Prophet. So Abu Wa'il, from among the companion of Prophet, doesn't, we say, doesn't agree with what being told by by Amr bin As to run away, disperse yourself, do not stay together, go away from each other. So when Abu Wa'il said to him like that, he said that you are more, I was the companion of Prophet when you are lesser than my donkey. You are more lesser than my donkey. Now, at that time, I am the companion of Prophet. So Amr bin As said that I will not answer back what you said and will not punish you. Then he get out and go away. So people start to follow to go away. Everybody is actually avoiding each other for a period, like we actually should doing right now, not to stay together for a certain period. Then Allah Ta'ala take away from them the pandemic. We actually now not following the guidance of the companion of Prophet SAW, because the Prophet give us the guide, and the companion show us the result, the solution, but none of us is actually following it or believing in it. Because when Amr bin As said to them to go away to the Mount Hill, means that no Jamaah prayer will be done in the city. Everybody will run away from each other, so nobody will be not just avoiding a meter away, not staying together anymore for certain period. We actually now have that period. We know that actually for 2 weeks the COVID-19 can spread away from us to others, and now it's actually my friend, my neighbors, many of them being admitted, being infected with the disease. Some of them actually have to become intubated, and some of them actually just have mild symptom. Anyway, it's not really not a joke anymore. It's something that we must have to follow the rules of the Prophet SAW, and the knowledge being done by the companion of the Prophet SAW. Because Umar bin Khattab, when we told about what being asked by Amr bin As, the idea of spreading away, not to stay together, Umar bin Khattab doesn't say that he doesn't like that idea. He agree with it. So we have that way how to actually save ourselves from this disease, inshallah. So may Allah Ta'ala save us from this, and may Allah Ta'ala make us obedient to the command of to the teaching of the Prophet SAW, by the showing that being showed by the companion of Prophet SAW. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala Muhammad. Salam alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.